So Professor Liu is going to teach you how to design a good class and methods. Also design a good project. Let me click on this right now. All right. So basically, what makes a good class? One class can represent only one single concept. Remember that. Only one single concept. So on that single concept, your method, your method is about how do you deal with the property in that concept. That's all. In case you have multiple concepts in one class, that's not a good class. So you need to break this class into several classes. So which will teach you in chapter in the future. We either put them, several of them, the relationship combined together become composition or inheritance. So anyway, you just need to learn one thing. One class, one concept, one single concept. Don't make it too complicated. Once it have more concept, break into several concepts. All right. So if they can relate it by maybe like a square and cube, then we call inheritance. Otherwise, the relationship is called has a relationship. We use composition. All right, so that's how you design a class, one concept. Now, then how you started to design a class? Starting from looking for a noun. So any object, whatever, there must be noun, a property to do that. For example, some of actor class like a random generator, scanner, their job is to scan, so they call scanner. All right. Random generator, the job is generate, so that's called random generator. So some of the class doing that. All right. So now, so one more time. So you first start to identify. You start to identify the noun, the designer class. You look for the noun for the problem description, the description. Okay, you first do that. So once you have that, then you're going to start to separate right now. So a class should have two parts. The first part is like a class member variable. That's a noun. All right, and second part will be the class method. Will be the class method. All right, so class noun we usually call fields or call variables, and they should be private. The reason is we need to protect value when the code runs. All right, then the class method is a method in which, so this method is used in this class and try to describe the operation of this noun. So usually it's public. Okay. Now, so when you design a class, we need to follow some important information. So first, this is a class. This is a method. First, you need to have a modifier. Usually method is public. Unless it's only used inside this class, nobody else uses it, then it is private or is protected. And return data type, name of the class, parameter right here. Okay. Now, so next thing we need to learn is constructor. Constructor. So a Java constructor is a special method. And this method has exactly the same name with your class. For example, I have this class TTT is tic-tac-toe. So I have two parts right here, okay? Private variables and methods. Private variable and method. So I'm open the chat room right now. So anyone who can tell me what's my private variable? What's my private variable? My private variable is, what's my private? It's 2D array. It's 2D array. The name is called board. Name is called board. All right. So private. So first you look for the noun. You got a noun right now. Now the board. Then next, the second part will include several methods, and these methods are used to deal with this board. All right, to deal with this board. For example, the first method is called constructor. It's used to initialize this board. The first initialization is I initialize to 3x3 2D dimensional array, char character, data types character. Second one, I call a function to help myself. It's called initialization. My initialization is to initialize this board. All right, we did this project already. Can anyone tell me what do I initialize this board? To every cell, the 3x3 cell. Every cell has what? Contain what? If you forgot, read this book right here with a dash. Okay? So the main program will be TTT. That's a class you created. My TTT, my class, then new TTT, new TTT. Whenever you use new, you are calling the constructor. Whenever you call new, that's you call constructor. A 3x3 2D dimensional array is created, and each cell initialized to contain a dash. All right, so that's basic class. So a class has two parts. Okay, class has two parts. Private is that probably the most important thing you need to recognize. What are the key elements of this class? Then you put right there. Then the rest of other method, the start from constructor to initialize, and rest of the method to describe how you're going to deal with these most important elements. All right. So, what is not a good class? If you cannot even tell from the class name what it's supposed to do, that's not a good class. And the simple rule of thumb is look for the noun. All right. So let me ask you. Your job is write the program to play chess. All right. So we imagine your job is to write a game to play chess. Now you probably played chess before. There's a king, there's a knight, there's a pawn, and it's a something. All right. So then we need to look for a good name for that. We need a good for. So like when we play tic-tac-toe game. How do I name my class? Anybody remember how do I name my class? When I do tic-tac-toe, I name it tic-tac-toe, right? Yeah. So when you want to write a game for play chess, how do you name it? Anybody?
Chessboard.
Yeah, chessboard. Name it chessboard. Okay. All right. Move piece will not be good name, but move piece will be a method. You want to describe how do you play this chess game. Is that right? That must be complicated. And how do you move this and that? That would be part of this method. But now you need to name it correctly. All right? One more time. We're going to do the method right now. So remember, when your tic-tac-toe, when our tic-tac-toe, and we need to have quite a lot of method to do that. And we are going to learn this method, and they have a rule, need to put it together. So let me see this right now. Okay, so that's our tic-tac-toe game, right? Tic-tac-toe game. We initialize this. So what are involved in playing tic-tac-toe? What are involved involve playing tic-tac-toe? You probably need to print a board, right? And you want to check, is the board full? All right. Then you also need to get who is the current player. Is the X current player, or O is the current player? Then you need to place your mark. You need to place your mark. When you place your mark, is you going to check, hey, if that's a dash, I can put my mark. Otherwise, I cannot. And once the one person finish, I need to change a player. All right. So that's a easy tic-tac-toe game. All right. So that's tic-tac-toe game. Then we want to talk about this right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you more here, and I want to explain more for you on top of this. Is when we start our class, it's a super bad idea. It's a super bad idea to make a thing very complicated altogether. Because that way, when you write your program, it just when you write your program, you cannot tell that's a single concept. All right. So number one, a class represents only one concept. When it's too many concepts, break it into several classes. Once you break into several classes, then we associate them with composition. It's called is relationship composition to the, make them all to work together. Then the methods are very important too. This method, when you design this method, you need to separate accessors and mutator. You also need to try to minimize side effects. All right. So we are going to take a look one example right here. We're going to take one example right here. Then you will see why this is not good, and why when you create a class, how you start it. Is that okay? So which is this one? We did it at the first semester. It's CashRegister. I modified to CashRegister update.zip. Okay, so I am going to ask you to open this tool right now. It's okay, and let's open it up. Let me explain it to you. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at cash register. Cash register. Okay. All right. So first of all, a cash register. Okay. So let me go right here. Let me explain this right now, and I am going to use the second video to explain this. Okay.